Hey, good evening. Actually, good afternoon. It's pretty early here. This video here is going to suffice as the chart of the day, and it's also for our strategy session, gang. We had like almost 1,000 people at our trading class this morning, and it went really, really well, which I'll get to in a second. So I want you guys as members to look at this. Look at the video because you're going to see some trades. I mean, people made thousands and thousands of dollars on the trades that we covered this morning. And I'll walk through some of them with you in this video. But what I want to tell you is this market has changed, like you can see that. It's in the process of continuing to change. You know, we're still working. I've talked about this a lot lately about, we'll just do this, about the fact that that stocks don't trade in V's. They trade in a series of V's, also known as W's. And that's something that you really have to understand, because if you don't, then you think that every single sell-off is going to be like this one back here in 2018. A big old massive V down and then a run up. We actually did get a little bit of, felt like it at the time, a little bit of a pullback just for a day or two, and then boom, off to the races again. So it's like this big V pattern. This is typically not what happens with these types of sell-offs, and those who are really aggressive are finding that out the hard way. The market goes up and you've got the FOMO, fear of missing out, and then finally you pile in, and that turns out to be the right thing to do for the guy on the other side of your trade. And this is the thing that always happens. And so the question is, we'll move this part of the W out. The question is this part of the W, the pullback, we'll move this up to here. Is this part of the W going to be like this? Maybe one more day. Look, it's April Fool's Day. What the hell did you expect? Okay, after we get a big move up into the end of the quarter, all the big Ponzi schemes known as pension funds rebalance, you're going to get some kind of a correction. So is the second part of the W here, we've got this, that, and then a pullback, and then we're looking for the right side of the W. Is it going to be here and then run up? I mean, ultimately, this level is going to be breached. Ultimately, we go higher. We just don't know whether that's going to happen anytime on this chart or whether we have to move it way over and look for here. But sometime in here, we're going to have a move higher. And the question is it going to be here, or is this out of play and we're going to get a move down here? Maybe a double bottom. That would be ideal. I would love that, and I would absolutely be a buyer of that double bottom. So will everybody else. It's it's a very, very widespread theory that that's going to happen. But we also don't know whether we're going to get this kind of move, a move down lower that ultimately gives us our buy point. So this is the kind of stuff that we don't know. And frankly, here's the other thing. I personally, I don't want to disparage anybody's intellect. I really don't. And I know sometimes I do. What a lot of people don't realize is I do it to myself all the time. Nobody knows what's happening. This is not the typical thing like and I need you to listen to me because I'm really serious. If you think you know, you don't. If you're reading somebody's article, they don't know. If they say they do, they don't. Oh, we're going to have 2 million deaths. You don't know that. Oh, we're only going to have 50,000 deaths, or 120,000 deaths. Really? You don't know that. Nobody knows that. You know who the real idiots are? Those that claim to know and those that listen to them and actually believe them. The smart guys, that Dr. Fauci, or however you pronounce his name, he came out the other day and admitted it. I mean, not that he was trying to hide it, but he said, like, hey, man, we go on these models, and the models are always freaking revising. We're always revising the models. as new data comes in. Welcome to my world. That's what we do. And so this is a process, and I mean, this is a type of thing where models only work so well. They only work as well as the data is reliable. And when the data is always changing, you literally have a compromise in the reliability of data. I mean, that's just common sense. That's a math equation. 1 + 1 = 2, 1 - 1 = 0. You just don't know. And the reason I'm saying this is because in the typical fashion, like even the housing crisis, way back when, a week, a month and a half, 2 months, at some point, the extent of the damage is known. It doesn't mean that it's all behind you, but you can say, okay, well, based on what we see in all these houses that are underwater and blah, 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 we're seeing the Fed coming in. This is probably it. And then markets start climbing and the Fed says we're going to do, whatever we need to do. This is different because it's a flippin' bug, and the bug doesn't speak English. It doesn't even speak Chinese, okay? We don't know so much about it. And so the market is reflecting this. And the reason I'm saying this, I'm kind of pounding the table on it. I'm pretty passionate about it because my business is your success. That's the best way I can say it, best way I can describe it, and I mean it. That's my business, is your trading success. If you're not successful, then I suck at what I'm doing, and I mean that. So when I look at this, for somebody to think, based on what's happening now, that you're just going to miss this move, that is just that's madness. The reason I'm going into this is to tell you that this stuff here, this is dead. It's dead. For the foreseeable future, it's dead. I don't think this is dead. I think we're going to get more downside. But here's the point. You have to learn, you got to do one of two things. Either stay out of the market and just kind of wait for your train to come in. One stock that's getting really, really close is GSX. I've been looking at this for a while. I actually bought it a couple times and got shaken out, just kind of I'll admit it, kind of trying to make something happen. And I'm not in it now, but I'm watching this, and it just feels like it's only a matter of time when this thing's going to start running. But for the most part, the other stocks, I was trading the snot out of Microsoft both directions today, actually, and this has been a great trade for me. But as we moved further along the x-axis, the time axis here, my duration got shorter and shorter to where today I was literally day trading it. And the only reason I was day trading Microsoft is because I'd been following it. And listen to me, this is important. I'd been following the stock so very closely the last week or so, kind of watching it all day long and adding my position, maybe taking some off the table, maybe selling some calls, selling some puts. I'd really been watching it a lot. And so I really got the sense that I had a good feel for the stock. And that's always problematic when you start thinking you know more than you actually do. But see, I know that. And so I didn't think I knew more than I actually did. I just felt like I had a feel for Microsoft, so I just kind of fixated on it a little bit, and as long as it was paying me off, I kept trading it. Okay, well, that trade's over. And what I have been doing more and more, like an increasing amount of this, is day trading, 59-minute trader stuff. That's what I've been doing. And it's been paying off well, even on a stock that I've said, you know what, I just kind of want to hang on to this stock for a while. Then the price action would be such to where I'd say, no, this is more like a day trade. So we'll go through a couple of these in this video, but I'll just say, generally speaking, I'm looking at this, gun to my head, I would say buy the open tomorrow. And do you know why? Because my suspicion is this will gap down, and then maybe we'll run up a little bit to the upside. But this is, make no mistake about it, this is a bearish wedge right here and right here. Now, you guys, the members that fall into the risk management type traders, if you're 25% in at 243, okay, so you're still up. We looked at this after this first big day, the first big move. I said put 25% to work just to get in, because you're managing this risk. You're managing the risk of missing out on this kind of move. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I don't know. You never know. So you're managing your risk on this kind of move. You're in 25%. Now you're waiting. Okay, now we know why the waiting is. The aggressive ones, I told you I got tired of listening to people bitch at me, frankly, honestly. And I said, okay, on 326, just go all in. Just, you're all in. Now you get to have some fun, and we'll see what the market brings. So things aren't really working out that well. You're down $7, but that's not gonna, that's not gonna break the bank. It shouldn't break the bank. But so here's what we do next. Here's what we do next for you, for the risk managers that are 25% in. That means you have 75% in cash. That's a good deal. You're in the catbird seat. So hopefully what we get is a pullback. I don't know if it'll end here or if it'll end here, but we get a pullback, and that's great. But what we need then is we need some kind of a reversal from wherever it is that takes us up like this. A big open bar closes up at the high of the day or close to it on big, massive volume. That will be our time to either put, depending on how things work out, either put another 25% in or actually put in 50% so that you're 75% long in your cash position, from your cash position at that time. I'm not talking about your wealth. I'm talking about the cash that you took out to wait for a better buying opportunity. So this is kind of what we're looking for, is this type of thing. But seriously, think about it. I mean, we don't know. We have no idea when the extent of the damage, whatever you want to call it, we have no idea when that is going to be known. The market will ultimately know it, but what the market is telling you right now is, like, insert shrugging emoji here. Nobody knows. So you're going to have to wait. You're just going to have to be patient. But in the meantime, you can trade smaller, which is what we're doing. And I'll give you the heads up on this, because I talked to my brother Gary just a little while ago. And this is a time when, a lot of people have extra time on their hands, but a lot of people don't have a lot of money to spend, because some of the extra time you have on your hands is you lost your job, or your spouse or your partner lost their job, something or other. So we have, there's definitely some challenges that we're all facing, but what we're going to do is on the 59-minute trader program, and I don't sell here. I mean, I'll quote market. I'll tell you what we got, but I'm not the guy that sets the prices. So I don't know anything about that. But we will be sending out probably tomorrow an offer for you to get the 59-minute trader at a much reduced cost. And if you are interested in capitalizing on the day, the market that we're in today, that thing will pay for itself very quickly. We have never gotten one negative comment on that curriculum, and we've sold thousands of them. We literally have not gotten one negative comment like this sucked, or I knew that, or it doesn't work, or whatever. So I highly recommend that you consider it. In this time, this is a time to be bumping up your knowledge. So with that said, let's look at some of the things that I looked at today. What we have, this is a chart that I use. It's on a bigger screen, but So what we have here today is APT. Okay, so if you look at this chart, we've got a daily chart, a 15-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, and then a 1-minute chart. And I'll get rid of this mess in a bit, but I want to show you what we did today. So I'm teaching a class. We open it up at 9 a.m. Eastern time before the market opened. Half an hour just so we could go through things. And so then the market opens up and I'm looking for stocks to trade. Okay, I've never looked at this stock before. My bad. Never looked at the stock. By the way, it's up 42%. Hello. So I hadn't looked at this stock before. Somebody asked pretty early in the day. How early? I'll tell you how. How early? Because I bought it at 10:05. 10:05 in the morning. Traders, our members are asking, different questions, what are we looking at, et cetera, et cetera. And somebody goes, look at APT. Okay, so let me get to the other chart here. And we'll look at it this way. This is really important, guys, because you're going to wind up making some money on this type of thing. So this is what the daily chart looks like. First thing I'm thinking is, infrastructure, building materials. This is what the intraday chart looked like. So right here, the stock, this is when I first looked at it right here. The stock had already run up and a member goes like, so what's up with this? Okay, so this is what it looked like. This is where it was at 10:05. It started here. So you can see it had already reversed. But I looked at this and I'm going, what the heck is going on with this? I don't get it. I don't know this Alpha Pro Tech thing, whatever. So I pulled up the website and this is what I see. I'm looking at this N95. Looks pretty good to me. I am like all in. I said, all right, now I know why this stock is moving. We tracked it along the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. Members stayed long this stock all day long. It broke out again and then ultimately runs clear up to close, basically right at the high. And even as the market trades in after hours trading, this thing's still going. Would not surprise me if it opens up at 20 bucks tomorrow. Seriously, it could happen. The point is, this is the kind of trade that we made. And you can look at this and say, that was a heck of a pullback, and it was, if you count 7 or 8% from top to bottom as a pullback. But some people are even trading around in this thing. But look at what happened. Okay, watch these little lines here, these Bollinger Bands. Okay, now these puppies are getting pretty tight, like within 6%, 5% of each other. They're getting really tight. We're in the afternoon, so we're through the morning rotation. And now we get a breakout. Boom, on volume, that's it. That's the time to load up again. And then sure enough, the stock just keeps going up. So what I'm saying is these are the kinds of trades that we're making in these day trading sessions, and these are the kind of trades that you should be making. Other trades that we looked at, this is a stock. I still have a small position in this stock. It's up 13% today. This is in the same industry, basically. Okay. Well, it's nice that I'm making even more money after hours. But these are the stocks that are coming up, the ones that feed off of the uncertainty of whether people are going to get this thing or not. And so if you look at Lake, you look at APT, they're basically the same kind of pattern. So wouldn't you expect them to be trading the same way? They've already rinsed out all of the weak hands here. And now we're starting to get a phase 2 rally. This is the day trading stuff that you can be doing. Peloton, this looked like it was going for a while. I bought that and then sold it. Not my deal. Teladoc, this stock is really sloppy. Let me get to a less noisy chart here. This is the kind of zigzags you get here. I don't need these anymore. Here, we'll put these down here. I can play with them another day. So this is a very volatile stock. You guys probably know what this is. You don't go into the doctor's office. You access them online. But it's pretty volatile. The uptrend is there, but it's not one that you can really buy. The cruise lines closed near, I think just about at the low of the day was 25.60. It closed at 25.77. This was one that I actually shorted. Actually, it wasn't Royal. It was Carnival. I actually shorted in the afternoon when it started falling out of bed here, and then closed near like right into the close. I covered my short. And the reason is because when a stock's down 33%, even if it's a cruise line, the next day is probably going to be a good trade. I don't have any reason to hold it over. And so these are stocks that we're looking at, that I'm looking at, and so our members are going to look at. You guys, members, get in the forum in the morning and I'll walk you through this stuff. CCL, RCL, these can be good trades tomorrow. I don't even know whether they're going to be longs or shorts. Here's my bet. My bet is they're actually going to be longs. Yes, it's true. For a trade. Everything's for a trade. So anyway, these are the stuff that we're looking at. Other than that, seriously, you should be waiting for your ship to come in here. Pardon the cruise line joke, whatever. You should be waiting on the sidelines with plenty of cash for the market to kind of queue up, for the market to give you some kind of signal that there's a better bottom in. And the way you're going to get that is a big move down and then a reversal on high volume. This is not that. And so if you're saying, is this the bottom? Don't be afraid to miss out. You ain't missing out on anything. We got a lot of supply overhead. You are not going to miss out on the big rally back to new highs. Not even President Trump is talking about that anymore. There's that whole thing about, I think we're going to recover, going to go higher, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's talking about that anymore. Ultimately, it's going to happen, but it ain't going to start tomorrow. I promise you that. So anyway, that's it. Probably the longest chart of the day I've ever done, but you know what? I'm going to cut it off now so that I can beat my record another day.